All right, UCF head coach Scott Frost is with us. Coach Frost, first off, does it feel real now that you're here, media days? Does it feel like the season's really right around the corner?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't looked forward to a season like this for a long time. Excited to work with the players we got. I love being around them every day. Love going into work every day, and it's right around the corner. It seems like it went fast, but excited for our kids to have an opportunity to compete.
What are the next 3 weeks like for you and your staff as you get prepared for camp? What are you all working on over the next couple of weeks?
Well, coaches are on vacation right now,
Okay.
and it's much deserved vacation. You know, we've been doing transfer portal and trying to build a team and trying to teach scheme, trying to work with guys on techniques, getting bigger, faster, stronger, trying to team build and create a cohesive unit. So the guys have been working hard, and everybody needs to refresh a little before season starts.
What have you learned about your team over these last 8 months? What have you learned about the group of guys that you have?
I think we're talented. I think in this new era, it's not as much recruiting as it is interviewing and trying to pick the right guys and interviewing and negotiating, to be honest with you.
Sure.
I'm proud. We had the highest football team GPA in the history of UCF last semester, and I think that speaks to not the talent we brought in, but the character of kids that we brought in. It's a fun group to work with, and I'm just every day I wake up in Orlando excited to get into work and see those guys.
What do you not yet know about your team that you want to find out?
How we're going to respond, how competitive we are, and how hard we're going to fight to get what we want, and then how the team's going to react when things are going really well or when things aren't going well.
You talked a lot about rebuilding a culture here at UCF. How are you measuring that? How are you figuring out if you're seeing the fruits of that labor, that effort that you've put into trying to rebuild this culture?
Oh, you can already see it. It's never a finished product. It takes constant work, constant gardening. But I think we've instilled some of those values already with the team. I think guys are hungry for that deep down. I don't want selfish players that are only in it for themselves. And I'm starting to see those things take shape already on our football team.
You brought some key leaders with you on this trip: Miles Montgomery, Paul Rubel, Kelly Larson, Nigel Lee Kelly. What made them the right choice to come represent UCF at this event?
Well, first of all, they're great-looking athletes, so I walk around here proud of what's representing us. But they're also great kids. Paul's like an ambassador to UCF. You know, he's been here for 6 years from Germany. Just great human being, giant human being. Miles is such a great person and going to be one of our best leaders. Talk about a work ethic, and I can't wait to watch him have an opportunity now that he's out of kind of RJ's shadow. Nigel Lee was our best player in spring. He wrecked some practices for the offense. He deserves an opportunity to be here, and I can't wait to watch him compete this year. I think he's improved even from the first day I was on campus. And then Kelly's new to the program, but as a Mike linebacker, you have to step into that role and try to take on a leadership role. And great guy. I love being around him too, and excited to have him have an opportunity this year.
I was trying to think about the way to characterize your first couple of months here so far. Fast and Furious came to mind. It feels like it's been fast and it's been furious. Who have you kind of leaned on to maybe help you get up to speed and get caught up? And how important has a guy like Terry Mahatra been for you as you've tried to get acclimated but had to hit the ground running?
Terry's been so great, and having an AD that's in the foxhole with you, fighting alongside you, I haven't felt that way, or had someone like that in my corner the way that he is. We might not make all the right decisions. We might not always agree on things, but we're unified and fighting together, and that's a great place to be in. You'd be surprised how rare it is. So I'm grateful to him. There's also guys on the staff. Sean Clark's been important to me. He's been a head coach and been through the ringer as a head coach too, and I lean on him quite a bit. Sean Beckton for his experience around UCF, and even Kmart, having been on the staff last year and knowing a lot of the team. I've had to lean on those guys, and they've all been great.
You mentioned some of the staff. You brought back a lot of former Knights that are on the staff. Obviously, McKenzie's one, but guys like Drico Johnson are here, Dimitri Brimmer here. How important is it for you to have those guys back in the building, and what have they kind of provided to your staff and all of the new players that are coming here through UCF?
The more people you can have in the building that understand what made UCF special and what we're trying to build, the more opportunities you have to talk to the players about it. So those guys were key parts of what we did before. They understand what we want, and they're helping to mold the current team into something that hopefully looks like one of those past teams.
I doubt anyone's asked you about quarterbacks yet, so I'll be the first here. Do you have a timeline on when you want to make a decision?
No, it happens when it happens. All three kids have shown enough to me that I'd feel really comfortable going into a game with any one of the three. And there's been years I've gone into seasons without one that I think is as talented as any one of the three we have. I'm not going to force that decision, though. It'd be unfair to the other guys to just select one. I want them to understand this is a competition and go try to earn it. And when it's clear, it's clear.
Coach, you think about this team. What traits and characteristics do you want this team to have? If you're talking to your opposing coaches after they play UCF, what do you want them to say about the team they just faced?
Well, I want our team to hear this, but first and foremost, I want grit. I want guys that'll push through hard things, that'll buckle down and try to get something done. I don't know that about the team yet. I know they're working hard, but you always hit adversity, and I want to see what happens. And you need to have a gritty team, and then I want a team that attacks. We got a ton of speed on the team. I want people to put on UCF tape and go, "Oof, those guys can run." The only way you can do that is if you're at full speed and hustling all the time. So, if you give us those two qualities, we're going to have a real chance.
I know you've been busy. Have you allowed yourself to think about what it's going to feel like to walk out of the bounce house again for your first game?
Yeah, I don't think it'll feel any different. I'm excited. I think I'll take it all in for about 30 seconds. My joints hurt a little worse than last time I was here, so I'll probably just be thinking about getting out there at a good clip. And then it'll be game time, and I'll lock in. And I love that building and the memories we've already had there.
We saw the video out there. You had the new jersey, the new threads. Can I get a grade for your rating on the new UCF uniforms?
I didn't have anything to do with them, but I think they did a great job. I love how they tie in the Space U stuff and Polaris and Pegasus and some of those things. And it's just great football colors too, black and that old gold. I don't know if there's better football colors out there.
Have you picked out your sideline attire yet? When does that happen? You were a polo guy last time. Are you going back polos? Do you have any idea what your attire is going to look like?
Yeah, I try not to make it about me, so I kind of wear what they give me, and that's usually either dry fit shirts or polos. And my shoe game will probably be better this time around. I kind of gotten into that a little bit, so that'll probably be the only way I'm unique. But it's not about me; it's about the players and the product on the field.
You have veto power, though, right? If there's something you don't like, you have veto power to not wear.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna have them make me wear anything. But it's not a fashion show. It's not about what I'm wearing. It's whatever's functional, so I can go out and try to help the players as much as I can.
Well, you mentioned shoe game. Do you have the best shoe game of the coaches in the Big 12? There's some guys walking around with some fresh gear here. Do you have the best shoe game of all the Big 12 coaches?
I don't wear them all the time, so I don't know if you call it shoe game. But Phil Knight sat right next to me when I called plays for 3 years, and Tinker Hatfield's a good friend, and I love supporting those guys. So I've kind of gotten into it, and I would venture to guess there's nobody that has as good a collection as I do among the coaches in the Big 12. Yeah.
Awesome, Coach. We appreciate your time. Best of luck this season. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.